Chosen ones, the time to act is now. You have delayed this long enough, and your intuition is right. It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. This is your war cry, your summons to break free of the stale grip of hesitation. All your quiet hopes and lurking doubts are locked in a fierce wrestling match, and the universe is screaming for you to leap into the fray at last. No more second guessing. No more waiting for the perfect moment. You, dear chosen one, have everything you need to seize this instant in history and shape it to your will. Let your heart pound with the force of destiny as you embrace the truth that your intuition has been right all along, and that every second you delay, you're holding back a tidal wave of potential that could reshape your entire future. If you feel that electric surge tingling in your bones, like this video, subscribe, and comment 77 feet below to declare you're ready for the blazing path that awaits you. Chapter 1. The urgency that won't be ignored. How many times have you felt that persistent flutter in your stomach, urging you to make a move you've been postponing for months, maybe even years? It's like a silent alarm clock that keeps ringing, yet you keep hitting snooze. This urgency is no random spark of anxiety. It's the voice of your destiny demanding that you act. Each time you ignore it, you add another lock to the prison that is your comfort zone. Eventually, those locks become burdens you drag through life, always wondering, what if I had just listened? The truth is, your soul grows restless when it's stifled by overthinking. You might rationalize your delay, telling yourself you're gathering more data, becoming really sure you're making the right decision. But in reality, you're stalling, letting the swirl of possibility slip through your fingers. Think about all the nights you've lain awake, the sense that life is happening around you, and you're stuck behind invisible barriers. Those barriers exist not in your external world, but in the illusions you conjure about your own limitations. Time itself, dear chosen one, is not your enemy, but your most precious resource. The longer you postpone the action your heart craves, the more you risk losing the clarity you momentarily possessed. Opportunities are living organisms. They shift, transform, or vanish altogether if you stand idle for too long. Now more than ever, you need to sense that cosmic clock ticking. This is your moment to break the cycle, to fling open every door you've kept firmly shut. And yes, it can feel scary. Bold moves often do, but fear is only potent when it masquerades as caution. Label it, call it out, and watch it shrink under the harsh light of your newfound determination. This sense of urgency you feel is not hounding you for no reason. It's the sign that the universe is aligning in your favor, giving you the green light to proceed. Let it jolt you awake. Let it set fire to every excuse you've coddled. There is no cosmic reward for feigned helplessness. The reward lies in the heart that leaps when the mind quivers. In the hush after your decision, you realize the urgency was not a torment, but an invitation, a rallying cry to choose boldness over bland survival. Every cell in your body has been orchestrating this call to act, to say yes, to do the thing that once terrified you. The clock is still ticking, but instead of dread, you feel exhilaration, knowing that each tick pushes you closer to the unstoppable current where your destiny awaits. Chapter 2. The Labyrinth of Excuses. Excuses come dressed as legitimate concerns, don't they? They parade around in the garments of, I'm too busy, the timing's off, I still need more preparation. But peel away the layers, and you'll uncover a labyrinth of fears. Fear of failure, fear of ridicule, or fear that once you begin, you might actually succeed beyond your wildest dreams. The labyrinth of excuses can be comfortable. Its corridors lined with familiar rationalizations you've used to pacify your restless heart. Yet each day you wander in that labyrinth, you lose a measure of your precious forward motion. The illusions are cunning, telling yourself you need one more certification, one more sign from the heavens, or a bit more money in the bank. But deep down, you know the truth. You're fully capable, and your soul has been ready for an absurdly long time. If only you'd laid down those excuses and walked straight through the door that beckons. Picture the many dreamers who stagnate because they let those illusions define their reality. They never publish that book, never start that business, never sign up for that audition because they believe the labyrinth of excuses is infinite. But in truth, it only feels infinite if you keep moving in circles. The exit is there, a single choice: to trust yourself, your instincts, and the intangible push that's been urging you forward. That door opens as soon as you say, "I'm done making excuses. Let me out." Of course, it's no small thing to step out of the labyrinth. The prospect of living without your usual rationalizations can be terrifying. Suddenly, you're face to face with your raw potential and the responsibilities that come with it. Responsibility for your own success or failure. Responsibility for not squandering the unique gifts that the universe bestowed upon you as a chosen one. It's a confrontation that demands honesty about who you are and what you truly want. But oh, the relief that comes when you leave those excuses to rot in the dust. You emerge lighter, a massive weight lifted off your shoulders. The mental energy once spent justifying your inaction transforms into rocket fuel, propelling you into swift, meaningful steps. People around you notice a fierceness in your eyes, an aura that says you're done being caged by trivial doubts. Embrace that transformation. Let the labyrinth crumble behind you, taking with it every reason you've conjured for delaying your destiny. In its place stands a more direct path, shining under your conviction. Sure, new challenges will come, but you'll face them on open ground, unbound by the entangling illusions that once restrained you. Take a breath, dear chosen one. There's no turning back now, and that is precisely the victory your spirit has been craving. Chapter 3. Listening to the whisper that never left. Have you ever been haunted by a quiet voice that prods you just when you're about to settle for less? Perhaps you were scrolling through job listings or daydreaming while commuting when the voice murmured that you're made for grander things. For a moment your heart flutters, then you quickly suppress it, telling yourself it's unrealistic or naive. But no matter how many times you push it aside, that whisper resurfaces, persistent as a heartbeat. That whisper, dear chosen one, is your intuition, and it's time to let it lead. Think of intuition as your inner compass, always pointing toward your true north, even if the terrain looks daunting. It's not random whimsy. It's the distilled wisdom of your soul, gleaned from experiences both in this life and perhaps beyond. When you sense a pull toward a path that your rational mind deems ludicrous, you can bet your intuition sees a bigger map. It knows the cosmic arrangement of your gifts, your passions, and the timing that life so carefully orchestrates. The challenge is that modern living often drowns out this inner voice with noise, hustle, and overthinking. We rely on spreadsheets and pro-con lists, ignoring the quiet sense that says, "Do it now or you'll regret it." However, at this precise moment, the universal currents are aligned in such a way that your intuition has grown louder. The time to act is now, and your intuition is the surest guide you have, an internal GPS pointing straight to the destiny you've delayed for far too long. When you begin to follow intuition, a surge of reassurance courses through your being. Old anxieties soften because you no longer rely solely on external validation. You tap into an ancient well of knowing, the same well that guided our ancestors before technology told us how to think. This sense of, "I'm on the right track," cannot be saved. It resonates through your entire body, like a silent choir of yes. That's when you know you've stepped onto your rightful path. Now, this doesn't mean the path will be devoid of challenges, but with your intuition at the helm, each challenge becomes a puzzle you're equipped to solve, rather than a dead end. You find guidance in strange coincidences. Overhear a crucial tip in a casual conversation, or meet the right person at the right time. What some call luck, you recognize as alignment, a phenomenon that intensifies the moment you heed your spirit's leading. So if you hear that whisper telling you to launch that project, initiate that conversation, or move to that unfamiliar city, give it the respect it deserves. That whisper is the reason you cannot rest, the reason your day-to-day existence feels stifled. If you ignore it, embrace it. Let it be your North Star, shining in the dark unknown. As you heed its call, you'll discover that what once felt like a far-fetched dream is, in fact, the blueprint of your soul. May manifest. Each step amplifies your confidence, each victory confirms your worth, and each day you delay is a lost chance for your greatest self to unfold. Chapter 4. The Tides of Fortune. Flow where commitment goes. Once you start following that inner voice and cast aside the labyrinth of excuses, it's not magic in the sorcery sense. It's the natural law of resonance. When your commitment is unwavering, the universe responds with an echo of clarity, orchestrating conditions that mirror your resolve. For ages, you might have lamented how nothing ever aligned in your favor. Jobs didn't pan out. People didn't come through. Life felt like a stubborn puzzle missing crucial pieces. But that was before you fully committed. The realm of half-hearted attempts yields half-formed results. True commitment, on the other hand, blasts open doors that once felt glued shut. You realize that destiny doesn't stoop to the tentative. It meets you at the level of your audacity. Consider how water flows. It bypasses, shakes, and transforms whatever stands in its path. When you commit to your path, you become like water, fluid, unstoppable. Obstacles lose their power to halt you. They merely get reshaped by your momentum. It doesn't mean you won't face friction or heartbreak. It means you will adapt, and adaptation is the hallmark of a soul poised for extraordinary success. At times, you may find yourself tested, as if the cosmos wants to ensure your conviction isn't fleeting. Perhaps an unexpected expense arises, or you get hit with emotional turbulence. Don't misread these setbacks as signs to retreat. Instead, see them as rites of passage, verifying that you won't crumble under the weight of small adversities. Because, dear chosen one, the path you aspire to traverse, one of greatness and impact, requires you to carry a steadfast spirit. The universe has no interest in granting unstoppable momentum to those who waver at the first sign of trouble. And here's the secret: grace. Once the universe confirms your commitment, it pours forth resources, contacts, ideas, and serendipities that seem almost tailored to your journey. You might find a mentor out of nowhere, or a timely bit of advice that dissolves your biggest roadblock. This is not random luck, but a synergy built upon the sincerity of your pledge. The tides of fortune, once elusive, surge in your direction, turning even mundane tasks into stepping stones for your ascent. Let that buoy your spirit. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself that you have bridged the chasm between indecision and unwavering resolve. The forces of life are no longer scattering around you aimlessly. They march at your side, guided by the mighty magnet of your unshakable commitment. Embrace that knowledge. Let it flood you with confidence. If ever you waver, return to the memory of that quiet vow you made, to cease all delaying, to trust your intuition, and to stand in the radiant truth of who you are. That vow alone summons the tides of fortune to carry you higher than you dare to imagine. Chapter 5. Ascending above the noise of naysayers. With newfound energy and unbreakable resolve, you may notice that not everyone around you will celebrate this transformation. Some may whisper criticisms, questioning your sudden determination or accusing you of acting too big for your britches. There will be those who, out of jealousy or fear of their own unrealized potential, attempt to sabotage your rise. This is the noise of naysayers, a static that can derail an unguarded mind. But dear chosen one, you did not embark on this journey for the applause of bystanders. You took the leap because your spirit demanded it. You recognized that delaying any longer meant choking your own destiny. So what is the opinion of a cynic compared to the roar of your calling? Their doubts reflect their own limitations, not yours. Let them talk. Their words are empty air if they can uproot your devotion to the path you've chosen. In many narratives of triumph, the hero must pass to a stage where doubters circle like vultures. This is a universal archetype, a test to see if your faith in your mission surpasses the fear of judgment. Onlookers might throw veiled insults, point out every risk, or remind you of past failures. But your viewpoint is now elevated. You see the bigger picture that they, fixated on the ground, cannot comprehend. How do you ascend above their chatter? First, by selective hearing, absorb feedback that's constructive, but reject the brand of negativity designed only to sow insecurity. Second, surround yourself with those who see your potential clearly, who fan your flames instead of dousing them. And third, reframe every jab as fuel. Let each biting remark reaffirm why you started this journey, to prove that you need not stay small, that your intuition is indeed correct, and that your future extends beyond the horizons others have settled for. In time, some naysayers might try to align themselves with you once they see your unstoppable momentum. That's their journey, not your concern. Whether you choose to welcome them back or keep them, you are forging a path that demands courage, and any voice that threatens to undermine that courage has no rightful place in your innermost circle. As you ascend above the noise, you solidify your stance as a beacon for those who are also on the brink of stepping into their own greatness. People watch you, whether you realize it or not. Your refusal to fold under criticism can inspire them to do likewise. In this way, your journey grows beyond personal ambition into a silent revolution, each step you take igniting courage in another soul. So let the naysayers bark at the wind while you, dear chosen one, soar unhindered toward the glorious manifestation that awaits. Chapter 6. Taking the Leap. No safety net required. By now you understand that every fiber of your being has been pointing to this moment. The calculations have been done. The countless nights of overthinking have weighed in. So the question stands, why keep hovering at the edge when you could leap? The old you might wait for guaranteed outcomes or thorough proofs, but that brand of timidity has stifled you long enough. Acting without a safety net doesn't mean being reckless. It means finally trusting that your wings, forged by the cosmic currents, can carry you. When you do leap, expect the ground to shift beneath you, especially if the path you've chosen defies conventional wisdom. Friends may question your sanity. Mentors might raise eyebrows. But your spirit knows that the hunger in your belly can only be sated by forging ahead. This leap is not blind faith. It's courage, tempered by all the signs and intuitions you've been collecting for what feels like a lifetime. It's the unspoken promise between you and the universe, sealed by your unwavering yes. And yes, you might stumble, but a stumble isn't a failure. It's an adjustment, an inevitable part of the bold explorer's journey. Each time you find your footing again, you prove to yourself that a misstep can't derail your destiny. In fact, stumbling can ignite creative brilliance, forcing you to adapt in ways you wouldn't have if you'd played it safe. The illusions that the ground must be fully stable before you move are exactly what have kept you caged. Now you break free, and in doing so, you gather an ever-growing sense of power. Why no safety net? Because one of the greatest illusions is that total security exists anywhere, even in your so-called safe job or safe routine. Unpredictability lurks. By forging your own path, you reclaim control in a world that's always shifting. You choose to navigate the storms on your terms, guided by your inner compass rather than external dictates. This is liberation. The moment you realize that real safety comes from knowing you are resilient enough to adapt to any environment. Something astonishing happens once you finally step off that ledge. Time seems to warp, events fall into place, and your metamorphosis accelerates. What once seemed improbable snaps into clarity. Resources appear, new allies come to your aid, and your confidence swells with each success. You stop wondering what is and start declaring, "Watch me." This shift in perspective transforms even your failures into fuel for greater expansions ahead. So yes, dear chosen one, it's time. The net you thought you needed was never real. The only net that exists is the tapestry of your faith, your grit, and the cosmic guidance that's trailed you all along. Let them hold you as you leap into the unknown. You'll discover that the invisible arms of destiny are far more secure than the illusions of certainty you once clung to. Embrace the boldness. Take that final breath and fling yourself into the future that's been calling your name. Chapter 7. Rising in your own legend. Now the moment has come. No more halfway measures. No more circling the same old reasons not to leap. You are leaping. You are soaring. You are roaring with the unstoppable power of someone who finally trusts their instincts and has answered the clarion call of destiny. In this instant, your story transforms from mere aspiration into a living legend, shaped by every courageous breath you take. As you rise, you might feel the hush of all settling in, as if the universe itself pauses to witness your ascension. You've done more than turn a page. You've begun an entirely new chapter in the epic saga of your life. And in this chapter, you are no longer the unsure wanderer, but the triumphant champion of your own purpose. The ones who once doubted you fade into background noise, replaced by the vibrant hum of those who see your blazing spirit and follow its glow. In this legendary mode of existence, love and abundance are not scarce commodities. Relationships deepen, creativity flourishes, and you find yourself laughing at the recollection of how you once hesitated. The life you're building defies the mundane. It stands out in bright strokes of color against a monochrome world. A peculiar serenity also arises, an assurance that while challenges will never vanish, you've transcended the fear they used to paralyze you. You greet new obstacles with the serenity of a warrior who's tested their mettle in battle, because now you understand that each challenge is just another stage for you to demonstrate the unstoppable force you become. And in that demonstration, your own faith compounds, multiplying strength into strength. Yet even now in this apex of clarity and power, the journey continues. The summit of one mountain reveals further peaks. There is no final plateau for a chosen one. Each victory seeds the next horizon to conquer, the next invention to birth, the next dream to realize. You can sense new destinies flickering just beyond your current vantage, awaiting the moment you choose to answer the call again. And so the saga unfurls without end. You glance at the path behind you, littered with doubts now laid to rest, and ahead you see roads untraveled beckoning. The time to act was always now, and you've chosen well. Your intuition was right, and the illusions have collapsed. There, standing in the luminous truth of your own making, you realize this is merely the. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share your support. Helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.